How did Joey Badass become financially free? Let's talk about that in this video. Joey Badass, born Jovan Scott, is a top-tier music artist and businessman coming from Brooklyn, New York. This year marks him being in the game for 10 years, and he still has a great path ahead of him. He has released multiple albums and mixtapes, including the classic mixtape 1999. Joey Badass is my personal favorite artist, which makes me excited to make this video. In this video, we will talk about how much he makes from his music, and most importantly, investments. When talking about how much Joey Badass has made in music, multiple factors come into play. He has released multiple albums / mixtapes, which has brought him upwards of $1 million to his pocket. Sadly, it could have been more because he is still in the works of buying back his masters. Still, he has made a lot just from his big records and album sales. It is also estimated that he brings in about $1 million per year from his YouTube channel. Building up that consistent source was key for another income stream. Do you remember that Post Malone and 21 Savage song Rockstar? Joey Badass co-wrote that song, which has now been played over 2.6 billion times. That total is roughly about $6 million, but we have to consider he is a co-writer, meaning he just got a portion of that. The reason I bring this up is because Joey Badass does not just make money from his own music, but from others as well. Lastly, talking about music, Joey Badass has gone on multiple wide-scale tours. Every show he plays, he makes about $50,000, and he has had tours with over 20 stops. Overall, when it comes to music, Joey Badass is excellent with his pen, and it shows with his music and others' music. I am excited for the day that he owns his masters. Now getting into his acting career, Joey Badass is an Oscar-winning actor. He was the main character and scored the soundtrack for the short film Two Distant Strangers. This movie went on to win an Oscar for Best Live Action Short Film. Having an Oscar-winning film means that he brought in a lot of money just from that one movie. He has also been featured in other shows like Power and Mr. Robot. When talking about how much Joey Badass has made from acting, I would estimate that it's upwards of $3 million. The reasoning behind that is the Oscar-winning movie and the 7 TV shows that he's been a part of. I'd say he made about $2 million from Two Distant Strangers and $1 million from being featured in shows. Overall, Joey Badass has proven his success as an actor, and I can't wait to see what other movies and shows he will be in next. Let's get into the most important section, investing. What did the man say? Invest in stocks and bonds and multiply my worth by 10 times. In 2020, Joey Badass invested and partnered with Paco Rabanne in a premium brand fragrance company called 1 Million. 1 Million is a premium fragrance brand coming in packaging that looks like a gold bar and is sold in high-end retail stores. So far, this brand has been very successful in making a name for itself, so it's great to see that Joey Badass is an owner in this company. As he was an early investor in the company after Paco reached out to him personally, I'm guessing he owns about 20 to 30% of the company, which is huge. Another investment I wanted to mention is that Joey Badass is investing back into his community. The Fund for Public Schools is a non-profit specifically helping fund the resources to kids in New York City schools. Joey Badass has partnered with them to decrease homelessness in students. I always like to mention something like this because even though this isn't investing in a traditional business with a high ROI, the return he gets from helping others is greater. Lastly, like I mentioned, Joey Badass is diversifying himself in stocks and bonds. I'm not surprised by this because he has taken interest in multiple aspects of business. I'm sure he has made $1 million or two based on how the market's been performing over the past few years. Overall, Joey Badass has seen wide success outside of music and acting with his investments, and I believe this is just a start. He may be invested in other startups or companies now, but that information has not been shared. As of right now, I can't wait to see what companies he is invested in for the future. So in summary, Joey Badass is a top-tier music artist, Oscar-winning actor, and now business mogul. He has seen success in multiple industries, and it's great to see him grow more. If you're watching this video, Joey, release the album. What can you take away from this video? The takeaway is to dive into new interests. Joey Badass built a name for himself in music, then dove into acting with smaller feature roles, and which eventually led him up to being an Oscar-winning actor for playing a main character in a movie. Take those small steps so you can build up the momentum for those leaps in the end. This brings me to the question, what is next for Joey Badass? He will continue to release music as he does have an album on the way. After winning that Oscar, I am sure he will be taking more roles, most likely major roles. As an investor, I think this is just a start for him. He understands the worth of diversification and has taken advantage of that so far. I would love to see him invest in more startups. Success is what is next for Joey Badass. And that is how Joey Badass became financially free. I hope you found this video informational. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe, as well as let me know who I should talk about next. These videos are meant to provide you takeaways from successful artists to provide value into your life. I will see you in the next one. Have a great day.